Welcome
to the Age of Awakening.
Please identify yourself. Enter.
So, we start each show with our success snacks. And this particular success snack was inspired from an interview I was listening to. And honestly, I can't remember who it was. I listened to so many things. But the guest was talking about quiet time. And it got me to thinking, based on the context of the conversation, is there ever a time when quiet time is not a good thing? Well, let me give you some pretext to this. For those of you who've heard my story, angry, negative, almost lost it all in business and family, just an absolute train wreck in my late 20s, early 30s. And, had no clue on what to do, had no clue who I needed to become. And one day I stepped into a Borders bookstore and I know, guys, it was 1990, give me a break. And I was drawn to an area in the bookstore way back in a corner, self-help, been there. And literally this far shelf on the bottom, I was drawn like God was guiding me. Hey, you go here, man. All right, follow me. And I was humble enough to listen. And at the bottom of the shelf was a cassette tape. Again, it was 1990, cut me a break, from Deepak Chopra on the benefits and emotional and spiritual healings of meditation. And I bought it, got home, and I started listening to it and over every single day, every morning, and literally began to shift and change my mindset. So I'm a big, big fan of quiet time. Quiet time is essential for me, right? To clear my mind, to prepare myself for success, to see my future, to see my day, to know how I want to engage and show up for each key aspect of my day, whether I'm having a meeting with my team or if I'm going to be talking to a new client, whatever it might be, or having a conversation with my wife. And so I think about, how do I want to show up? Number one. Number two is, what is the outcome I'm looking for, and who do I need to be at that particular meeting to get the best results? So it's being intentional. So I'm a big fan of quiet time and meditation. But is there ever a time when quiet time is not a good thing? And the answer is yes, I believe. And here's when. Again, I've coached a lot of people throughout the years at our seminars. And I hear people telling me all the time, Jay, I just cannot meditate. Like, my head is just spinning. I got a million thoughts running through my head. You just don't understand. And you're right, I don't, right? Not to the level in which you might be experiencing it. Here's the caveat. If you stay in that state, eventually the thoughts will start to slow down if you follow the techniques I teach you. But for those of you who are constantly having thoughts, but those thoughts are overwhelmingly negative over and over and over, I think it's actually better to stop and keep forcing it and reinforcing those negative thoughts and pull yourself out of it. And that's when I want you to replace it with good info, whether it's a great podcast or reading a book or having a great conversation with a friend. In other words, figure out a way to insulate your mindset from the negative limiting beliefs that you're flooding and bombarding yourself when you're trying to be quiet, and then eventually replace it, or immediately replace it as quickly as you can, with some empowering content and thought. And I believe over time, the more you do this, it will become easier as you begin to practice quiet time, because ultimately you're going to need to do this, because quiet time is when you build you. It's when you're in tune with the infinite wisdom of the universe, call it God, whatever you might want to be. But that's when you get inspired, is through quiet time. So negative thoughts, pull yourself out of it, replace it with powering information content, go back to it. As those limiting beliefs begin to quiet down, listen to the inspiration that comes to your heart. It'll change your mind.